do you think housing prices should go down?
Oh, great question.
A little, yeah. Well, how much?
No.
I guess.
How much? How?
So, it's such a good question.
It is.
Because house prices don't usually go down outside of recessions and depressions. And when they do, like we thought they might during COVID, we turn around, we drop interest rates, we subsidise people to get them back up. So that's the dilemma, and I think it's the same dilemma we've sort of hit on many times, and that's why I support schemes like Max's and, you know, getting people non-market options for housing, because, you know, everyone said they want more supply, but does that mean you want to supply enough to push prices down, and by how much? I think maybe, you know, that's part of the question.
Yeah.
I like the question.
I did too, because it's so direct, right? Andrew Bragg, should house prices go down?
Well, I think that if you build the supply you need and you don't have migration which is unsustainable, then that's what will happen.
So you're saying house prices will go down?
Well, it's very possible that if you actually...
And you'd like them to, right?
Well, I'm relaxed about how the market decides how it will price things, but if you do it properly, then the natural consequence is that it will.
Annika?
With respect to the supply side of things, if all of the houses being built are luxury apartments and luxury homes, house prices will never really go down, and I won't be able to buy a home. Even with Help to Buy, I would be in mortgage stress if I were to enter a mortgage.
So it's about the kind of housing that's getting built, right? Okay, simple, we haven't got long on the show left. Catherine, should house prices go down?
Yeah, it is. You're right. It's a tough one, but I was thinking
it is
about
for the people who have their properties and don't want it to happen.
Absolutely, and our house price has gone down. So I suspect in regional and remote areas, housing prices has gone down because of the stresses that sit around the housing issue in the first place. So as a homeowner, I like it when my home is worth a little bit more, but I would certainly do anything to see my children be able to get into a home. So if that means making them more affordable so that my children have a future, I would like to see a way to do that that balanced both. I don't have the solution, so thankfully I don't sit in politics. I just get to give you headaches. There's still time. No.
Andrew Leigh, do you want to see house prices go down?
Annika, I think it's a great question. My view is that if we put all of the solutions into play, the best we're going to be able to do is moderate the growth in house prices.
Would you like to see the moderation of house prices really slow significantly, which is the case that Alan Kohler was making?
Absolutely, absolutely. And partly affordability is also about increasing wages. We'll put in a submission to the Fair Work Commission this week arguing for a wage increase for minimum wage workers off the back of the push we've made for raising wages for aged care workers and other essential workers. But at the same time, we've got to be building those extra homes, working with the states and territories and ending the blame game in housing, but collaborating with states and territories. Where Julie Collins has gotten the ministers together seven times, that's provided an impetus to deal with the supply issue and to try and get our way back to an Australia where home ownership is part of the Aussie dream.
Rose?
We absolutely have to moderate the growth in house prices. I accept that. $1.6 million for a median house price in Sydney is unacceptable. Even if we did that, it's not going to be enough. We have to directly deliver supply into social and affordable housing in the market. That is the only way that particularly vulnerable people and low-income people are going to have access to stable housing. So, yes, we have to moderate house growth, but we also have to directly supply social and affordable housing.
Max, final word to you.
Stopping house growth is a great idea. And just to be direct about it, and everything...
House price growth?
Yeah.
Not house growth.
No,
house growth.
Sure, stop house
He doesn't think supply is an issue.
I'm sure the Labor Party would clip that otherwise. And the way to achieve that, none of the announcements there from the major parties will do that, because they are not touching the tax handouts for property investors. And just on public housing, we have a shortage of 710,000 public and community homes across the country. Even if you take into account every commitment made by every state and territory government and the federal government, that shortage will keep going up. It is increasing faster than governments are building it because they're not building public housing the way we used to, which is why we've proposed building 360,000 public homes made available to all sorts of people, middle-income workers, the way this country used to.